Patrolman Dick Williams here at 8:05, 22 degrees, and your Tuesday morning. Back to work you go after a gorgeous weekend. And it is just so great to come in here to work every morning and talk to you guys. I mean, my wife won't let me talk at home. So here's Al Martino from AM 1410. Those Bloodshot Spanish Eyes. And London's AM 1410, we're at 8:08, and that is Spanish Eyes from El Martino. Got lots of great memories for you this hour, including Dean Martin's going to sing Everybody Loves Somebody from 1964. The Beatles, a pretty thing from the 60s with Something. And as well, Engelbert Humperdinck with Cuando, Cuando, Cuando. When. To get to the Rib Fest over the weekend? Boy, I tell you, just be so nice to be able to, on your backyard barbecue, do ribs with the beautiful quality of softness, tenderness, doneness that those guys do down in Victoria Park for so many thousands of people. Mine come out, overcooked by a mile. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. 22 degrees, our temperature today. We've got ourselves a sunny day, but it's going to be humidex and a smog advisory day. Both of those advisories are in effect all day long. Sunshine, hot, hazy, and humid. High of 33. Warm and humid tonight, 23 for a low tomorrow, and Thursday, for that matter. Sunny both days, highs of 33. On the road conditions, well, here's what's going on in the city right now. Some of the major constructions include the final repaving of Springbank Drive, paving of Hamilton Road east of Airport Road, the paving of Airport Road between River Road and Admiral, widening Airport Road from the 401 to Oxford Street East, and repairing Richmond between Simcoe and Gray. Call our newsroom at 686-NEWS and fill us in if you've got something else to add to that long list. Here are the Laurie Bauer Singers from London's AM 1410. From London's AM 1410, those are the Laurie Bauer Singers and The Way I Want to Touch You. Well, all the time I was reading the road conditions to you, my intercom line was flashing like crazy, and Ed's just stopped in to tell me that the westbound 402 is closed at 81. That's out in the Strathroy area. Several vehicles involved in that crash. Looks pretty serious. That's an area to avoid. Westbound 402 shut down at Highway 81. We're at 22 degrees from London's AM 1410, and released on DVD today, Alexander. This is a huge bomb from Oliver Stone. Cost $155 million and did nothing at the box office, despite an all-star cast, including Colin Farrell, Anthony Hopkins, and Angelina Jolie. One of the reasons might be that Angelina plays Colin Farrell's mom, even though she's less than a year older than he is. And to accommodate his Irish accent, most of the Macedonian characters speak with Irish accents. How bad was this film? Well, nominated for 6 Razzies, the awards for Worst Film of the Year. And how bad was it really on top of that? Well, it didn't even win a Razzie. I mean, what's going on here? Can't you guys do anything right? Here's Johnny Mathis.
This day.
London's AM 1410, 817. That's Johnny Mathis for His Time Goes By. 22 is our current temp. We have a smog advisory as well as a humidex advisory in effect, and we're playing great songs and great memories for you all day long. Do hope you're enjoying our efforts. Our high today will be 33. It's 22 at the moment. My wife Mary and I are ardent viewers of World News Tonight with Peter Jennings as the host. And, of course, as you know, Peter has not been on camera now for about 3 months. And last night we were watching again and wondering what his condition was. Obviously, the network isn't posting anything on their website because they, I'm sure, value his privacy as he does. But some nice news, at any rate, to know what high regard he's held in by his peers. He turned 67 over the weekend and is fighting his cancer at home. As a surprise birthday gift, staffers at ABC News in New York and elsewhere, I'm sure, paid for a plane to fly over Peter's home with a banner reading, "Happy birthday, Peter. Love from all at World News Tonight." That's a great newscast. Explains it to you rather than just talks at you. And we do wish him all the best. 8:18 is our time. London St. Thomas weather from AM 1410. As I mentioned, a humidex and smog advisory. High today reaching 33. Sunny, hot, and humid. Some would call that sticky. And more of the same's on the way for Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, we get a mix of sun and clouds with 29. It's 22 at the moment.
AM 1410.
When? Oh, since you're asking when, let me tell you when. If you'd like to listen to Those Were the Days, it's on Saturday from noon until 4. Some of the biggest hits of the 50s, 60s, and 70s that made the pop charts, and some of the events that happened during those very eventful 30 years. Our deep thought for a Tuesday in sunshine, light travels faster than sound. Did you know that? That's why some people appear bright until you hear them speak.
Dick Williams, AM 1410.
Stylings of the Manhattan Transfer getting you to work on a Tuesday morning after a long weekend and tons of ribs and sticky fingers. Have you had some of the corn? I had some of that Thomas Brothers corn last night, locally grown. Oh, man, it's just great. Also noticed in the supermarkets all the cherries are in now, so there's going to be a lot of cherry pies being made and consumed in the next little bit for sure. Great produce coming right out of our backyard here. Time for Dick's Date Book. This is National Clown Week. Important I tell you that, so we have a reminder for all the clowns. Don't forget the water in your seltzer bottle should be changed every 500 squirts. This is also Psychic Week, and a matter of fact, I'm a tad psychic myself. Feeling vibes right now. Anyone that calls a Psychic's 900 number this week, next month, I predict you're going to have a very large phone bill. August the 2nd, 1820, with hundreds watching in horror, Robert Johnson of New Jersey stood on the Salem County Courthouse steps and bravely ate a deadly poisonous love apple. And guess what? Nothing happened. Pretty soon, everybody was eating love apples, which had been grown in North America for years as an ornamental shrub. Did you know that? But no one dared to eat their supposedly deadly fruit. Today, we call love apples tomatoes. Now you know the rest of the story. Hannibal defeated the Romans on this day back in 216 BC. Hannibal, of course, as you know, was a miser. Had elephants in his army, and they were the only ones who worked for peanuts. That's the reason they were there. Calamity Jane Burke died on this day. Back in 1903, Calamity Jane was the Wild West's most famous dance hall girl. In her spare time, she got married. A lot. 12 times. Guess she had a lot of time in her hands, spare time. August the 2nd, 1655, Puritans in Massachusetts outlawed candy because it caused, they thought, sinful thoughts. Probably would have burned you at the stake if you ate Shaw's ice cream. We're nice and easy, bright and breezy, getting you through the day with a big smile and all the best to you from London's AM 1410. I'm Dick Williams, the tall one, with Frank Sinatra traveling that lonesome road.
AM 1410. With you sunlight.
We're music to your ears, all the music you recall with Gary and Dave here on London's AM 1410. I'm Dick Williams with 22 degrees, and we have the Williams Report at this point in the program. Last edition this morning. Guess who's been married 75 years? Blondie and Dagwood Bumstead. Yep, just about to celebrate their 75th anniversary as a cartoon strip on September the 4th. And another famous couple, George and Laura Bush, are going to appear in the comic strip a week earlier to congratulate them. And strangely enough, you know, the president and Dagwood have got a lot in common. They both married good-looking ladies, and they both like to take naps, that's for sure. Newspapers in China reporting a summer heat wave over there has led to a rash of skinny dipping by people looking for ways to cool off. And there's also been a rash of Chinese guys hiding in the bushes watching them. And by the way, in China, they call those guys Peking Toms. Peking, like as in duck, you know what I mean?
AM 1410.
Make yourself comfortable, baby.
The divine Sarah Vaughan from AM 1410. And make yourself
Sports shorts.
Well, remember a week or two ago, the London Tecumsehs played some old-fashioned baseball. Seems to be catching on. You can kind of forget about designated hitters or steroids. Some folks are playing baseball like it was meant to be played more than 100 years ago. Case in point is members of the New Hampshire Granite Vintage Baseball Club, where they play in the heavy wool uniforms from yesteryear, use gloves that look like gloves, not the webbing and padded ones that are currently on display, and huge gloves at that. And there's no trash talking in baseball. And by the way, baseball is spelled as two words, baseball. Mike Armour says you don't question the umpire's call. It's a gentleman's game. Matter of fact, it's so courtly, the players even applaud when the opposing team makes a good play. Of course, I'm sure they still scratch and spit, but hey, they're gentlemen about it, you know. All right, let's see what's happening here on the roads. And our last look, first of all, westbound 402 has been closed at Highway 81. That's in the Strathroy area. Several vehicles involved in that. A couple of tractor trailers, too, so that's going to be a long time clearing that one up. Finally, they're repaving Springbank Drive, paving Hamilton Road east of Airport Road. The eastbound lane of Hamilton is going to be closed all week. Paving as well occurring on Airport Road between River Road and Admiral, and widening Airport Road from the 401 to Oxford Street East. Repairs on Richmond, too, between Simcoe and Gray as we speak. That's pretty much it at the moment. Of course, you can add to our list by dialing 686-NEWS.
Wow.
Checking the forecast for London, St. Thomas, and southwestern Ontario area. We have a humidex and smog advisory happening. Today, going to be a sweltering day. Sunny, hot, and humid with 33. Tonight, staying warm. 23 will be our low, and it'll be warm and humid. Sleep starkers. Tomorrow, sunshine with 33. Thursday, same old story. And we're at 22 at the moment in London.
AM 1410.
Blueberry Hill.
From Narlands, little Cajun raging there with Blueberry Hill, Fats Domino, and AM 1410, 23 degrees. This is Dick Williams. We have news coming your way at 9 this morning. And the police department in Zurich, Switzerland. This is a interesting story. They've replaced their horse-mounted police with officers on roller skates, which in my humble estimation, being a traditionalist here, that's not modern police procedure. That's kind of a bad episode of Charlie's Angels. Can you imagine if they did that to the RCMP's mounted ride? Oh, boy. Here they come. Now the girls skate. Now boys skate backwards. Here's Perez Prado. Paints a funny picture, doesn't it? AM 1410, Perez Prado, Dick Williams program, 23 in the city. News at 9. Perez Prado was kind of a second best to Xavier Cugat, playing that kind of mambo-ish music, you know. Xavier always got the girls. He had Charo, you know. Remember her, the Hoochie Coochie girl? Oh, yes. Wee, wee, she used to say or something along those lines. Never did understand a word she said, but she certainly could move. That's for sure. Well, there's a big campaign on to butt out today in a lot of major cities across North America. But let me introduce you today to the Nick Stick. That's the world's first smoke-free and tobacco-free cigarette. Seems kind of stupid. Set to hit the market very soon. It's a Swiss invention, uses a rechargeable heating coil in a plastic cigarette-sized stick dispensing nicotine with no smoke, which allows you to more or less light up without annoying others with passive smoke. Also has none of the tar or the arsenic or the cadmium or the formaldehyde that a normal cigarette contains, and releases a similar taste. That's really good. In case you're trying to quit, you don't have to give up ashtray mouth. Kim Woodbridge from our newsroom checking in. And Kim, you tell me that there's more to that westbound 402 than we initially announced, huh?
That's right, Dick. We actually just had an update from a trucker that's out in the area, and he says, in fact, that both the east and westbound lanes of the 402 are now closed by a fiery crash earlier this morning. I guess the smoke is so thick that they're not actually able to let any cars through, so the OPP is shutting down both east and westbound. That's in the Highway 81 Strathroy area.
Okay, thank you, Kim.
Hey.
Great songs and great memories. They go back to back, and they go round and round with you now. Dean Martin, Everybody Loves Somebody.
AM 1410.
Dean Martin, and one of the big songs that became associated with his career, Everybody Loves Somebody, sometime at 8:51. The Dick Williams program till noon today on AM 1410. This is really neat news if you carry a lot of credit cards like I do. Hundreds of retailers are now testing biometric payment systems. Let you pay for purchases swiping your finger. You register your fingerprint and your bank account with a biometric service provider, such as Pay by Touch or BioPay. And then when you're shopping and the payment is preferred, you just swipe your finger and they transfer the amount from your bank to the merchant. You don't have to hand over a card, even punch in a PIN. So you don't pay cash. All you have to do now is just give the retailers the finger, I guess. well, you know, kind of called for something like that. Here's Ann Murray from London's AM 1410 with Snowbird. You can while away the afternoon hours with Mark Lade from noon until 6 this afternoon from AM 1410. And Paul Burke takes care of the store tonight from 6 until midnight. This just in, an 18-year-old Indian boy is trying for a place in the Guinness Book of Records by walking with his feet facing the wrong way. He claims he can walk 300 steps forward and an equal number of steps backward by twisting his ankles around almost 180 degrees. Now, even, I guess, on the downside, if he doesn't get the record, that ability he has to look like he's going forward when he's actually going backward means this guy's got a fantastic career as a politician.